Hello and welcome back to Warframe. My name is Todd, also known as Major Mech, and this is of course Warframe. Last time we completed the Mars Junction after having a run-in with a enemy we really didn't want to see. This time around we were going to work our way across Mars to either get to the Ceres Junction or the Phobos Junction, more than likely. However, I decided that we would instead focus on completing the quest Archwing, the Archwing. Now, of course, our colors might have changed. One of these days I'll settle on a color scheme, but that's not today. For now, we're going to just dive right into this quest and see where it takes us.
This is the master blueprint for the Odonata Archwing, the first of many Archwings. To complete it, you must find its component parts. Unfortunately, an ancient Orican archive detailing the locations of the parts was recently stolen by the Corpus. Your first job is to recover this archive. Hurry. The Archwing needs to be ready before the Baylor Fomorians launch their first attack.
Well, I think we can definitely get our Archwing ready before then. Let's see, is there anything else I wanted to talk about? Oh, I did want to go check out our mods. I haven't been keeping up to date on what mods we've got installed, so I just wanted to do a quick check. Okay, so there are some other ones we could install. Let's throw on... oh, nope, we already have a redirection, but we want to throw on a vitality just to make sure. Get as much damage resistance as we can in there. Let's see, for our weapon, I think overall we're kind of good on our weapon. I could probably upgrade Stormbringer and then not have to worry too much, but I don't want to use up all of our credits at the moment. Yeah, mostly good here. No major upgrades that we really got. Could add on a couple things, but none of them would greatly impact how we play. Alright, so we will jump straight into the mission. There is an event going on currently, the Ghoul Purge, which you might have seen on navigation, which is a Cetus event, which just opens up a couple more bounties that you're able to do in Cetus. Those bounties give you specific rewards for this event, so you can go and do those. I currently want to get this quest out of the way and kind of allow us to progress more before I worry about any of those sorts of things. So we will be coming back to events later on down the road when we have more time. Right now we've got lots of things that we can be doing aside from events, which don't really give us much progression, they just kind of give us rewards. Let's go take back a, what was it, a data mass or something to that effect that the Corpus had taken.
The Corpus have snuck into the Void and secured crucial Orican archives detailing the hidden locations of much-needed Archwing parts. Your mission is twofold. Cut off their access to the Void and recover the data. Get to the portal. We need to shut the Corpus out of the Void before we search for the Orican archive.
So I don't believe we've seen one of these maps yet. We know that these enemies are of course the Corrupted, which are enemies that have just been changed by an Orican security system to be mindless drones, pretty much.
The enemy are using a void key and a portable torsion beam device to force open the portal, destroy the key and the device.
But this sort of map is typically referred to as an Orican map. Very gold, very gaudy. Kinda, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit stylish. I like the curves of everything, and there's lots of things that move. Orican technology was all about perpetual movement. Maybe they figured something out that we didn't. Lots of different sources that talk about that, though. Let's see. In this mission, we're just doing a what they refer to as Orican sabotage. Basically, it's the same as pretty much any other sabotage. There's a set objective, complete the objective, win. Not really any different, though there is a cool like set piece that they use for Orican sabotage in particular. Oh, and these Orican tiles or maps tend to have things like traps and challenges that you can do for extra rewards, so keep your eyes up. Not just the caches that are in this mission, mind you. There are quite often other things that you can get. And there's, of course, lots and lots of traps. These objects there are what they refer to as death orbs, and they hit kind of hard. Those lasers, anyway. Ow. Yeah, that pretty much took away like 200 HP. You can disable them, and I'll show you how to do that here in a second. There we go. Okay, I just wanted to deal with that heavy gunner. So if you take out the rotation plate, the object will stop spinning. And if you take out the laser plates on the side, it will stop shooting lasers. Now if you wanted to permanently disable a death orb, you can take out a plate. I gotta deal with this heavy gunner. It's causing me problems. It's gonna kill me eventually. You take out a plate and then shoot the area where the plate was, you will hit the actual death orb itself and cause it to explode. More than likely, it's not really worth it to take out death orbs. Typically, it's more worth it to leave them alone just because of an effect that they have if you have a primed Warframe. If you have a primed Warframe and you touch a death orb, it will give you 250 energy. Not many people know that, but yeah, it's best to just leave them alone if you have a prime Warframe. Let's see, let's just jump down. I am gonna not focus on getting those caches just because I think it would take too much time. And, you know, with the limited amount of time I have in these episodes, it would be much better if I just headed forward and got these objectives done. One thing about these Archwing maps that is kind of interesting is these pillars that work as cover that kind of rise up out of the ground. They're somewhat annoying for actual like moving around the map though, which is, it is what it is. Oh, this is an interesting room. So if you start the elevator here, you go down to this room, which sometimes has a cache in it. It doesn't seem to this time. Typically that room would be locked from the outside though, like the doors would be.
The portal only allows travel in one direction. Start up the portal generators to reverse the polarity.
And it's as Lotus said, portal only allows one direction, one directional movement, so we gotta change the polarity. But when we do that, we've got to activate the generators, which of course means things will spew out of the portal and try and stop us from doing that. But first, let's take out these turrets, just so they're not causing me problems as I'm trying to deal with it. God, take for bloody ever, will ya? This bow of mine is not fantastic at doing damage. I'm hoping that we can definitely get our hands on that bolt ore relatively soon. Finish leveling up this bow and then change over. Maybe after the bolt ore we'll go after the Vectus if we're at a point where we can use it. Is that a nullifier bubble? I think that's a nullifier bubble. Very problematic to run into nullifiers, of course. Trying to get that Oxmium Osprey. And of course the Aura can have to send guys after you too. Really a pain in the butt is what it is. So with the nullifiers, if you hit that little drone on top, I believe I already stated, but if you hit it enough times, it acts like a critical point for the bubbles. Takes them out pretty much instantly. Very easy to deal with the enemies that way. Nullifiers don't become such a problem if you have something like a shotgun to be able to hit that orb, or a sniper rifle that's very accurately, so you can hit it more reliably than I can with this bow. Bow would probably be more reliable if it wasn't for the fact that I currently am a little bit too far away and it has a little bit of drop off. Plus, honestly, I just have better luck with weapons that hit faster when dealing with nullifiers. Things like the bolt ore, which is automatic, and other things. Now, just a second ago, I had something on me, like attached to my Warframe, from that Leech Osprey. I don't know if I explained that sort of thing before, but if you have a Seeker thing on you, a Leech Osprey bolt on you, or the little maggots that come from the infested. You can melee to get them off, or you can roll to get them off. Both of them will, I believe, kill the enemy and get it off of you. So yeah, easy ways to deal with that.
The torsion beam device, but they've taken the void key. Find it.
Let's see. I want to pull up my. There we go. My wheel codex scanner. So I do want to scan this cephalon fragment. I think there was a challenge on one of the junctions for scanning cephalon fragments. I don't remember what it was exactly, so I'm just gonna scan that to make sure. Dang ancients. So, of course, the cool set piece that we get to see in these sabotages is the set piece that actually takes us to an entirely different place. It's a big old portal. As Lotus refers to it, the torsion beam device. And this one appears to be the snowy areas of Venus. But I think it might actually be closer to a planet that we run into later. I think it's Neptune that looks somewhat similar to this. But the map is very Corpus. Oh, running into the links, huh?
The assassination target is here. Wipe them out.
Very similar to what was that boss? The Jackal, I believe. Gotta take out the Ospreys around it though before we can actually damage it. Shields cause it problems. Shields cause us problems, that is. I think those shields are impenetrable as long as the Ospreys are around it. Meaning, best to take out those shields as fast as possible. I'll be using my little chain lightning there to do it, I think. I think that works pretty good. Yeah, that works real good. The attacks of the Lynx are definitely nowhere near the level of the Jackal. No explosives or anything, really. So we will pick up that key here in a second. Alright.
You got the key. Now get back to the portal.
Okay, so with this sort of planet, with this icy sort of Corpus planet, one thing to note is heat generators. So these heat generators, they generate heat in a select area around them in a radius. Now, I have no idea what that radius is, but if you leave the heat generators on a frozen planet like this, you will start taking damage. But you can also destroy them. So if you destroy them, everything that would have been okay in that radius will start taking damage. But I believe it's only while exposed to the air. While inside of a building like this, I don't believe that rule applies. So we don't need a heat generator while we're in here. But if we leave and go out into the air, for instance, out there, we would need a heat generator so we didn't take damage. Let's see. Gotta go the heavy gunner. I think there's an ancient around because that heavy gunner was glowing green. I'm not going to worry about it. Let's just get back to the torsion beam device. Don't have to really worry about any of these guys. And get through. So big thing, of course, is you want to make sure to get through the portal.
Tenno, you do not want to be on this side of the portal when that key melts down.
As Lotus said, you don't want to be on that side. I'm pretty sure it just downs you or kills you if you're on that side. I'm not positive. Never actually bothered to stick around to see what happens. Once I figured out you could just run through it as quickly as possible and be on your merry way, I didn't even really care to stick around and see. Maybe one of these times I'll test it out just to see what happens.
The void key and torsion beam device are out of commission. The enemy will not be returning anytime soon. That's it. The portal has collapsed. I've located the cache containing the Orokin archive. Get there now. You found the Orokin archive. You are one step closer to unleashing the Archwing.
See now, I wouldn't have taken that elevator if I'd known that I could have just jumped up, but I've forgotten the layout of the map. There goes me not taking my own advice from previous missions. What is the old saying? Say as I do, or do as I say, not as I do. I think I just heard a cache. Oh, yeah. My ears haven't failed me yet. I did indeed hear a cache.
Found a second cache. My readings indicate one more.
But we're not going to be bother to find it, just because going on the hunt for it would take quite some time. But we got some good endo from that. Not bad. Just shift into my chair there. Alright. So, now we've completed that step, we'll move on to the next step of this Archwing quest. I wish there's more I could say, but there really isn't.
The Lotus has passed along possible coordinates for you to search for the remaining Archwing parts. Check your navigation console for more information.
Alright, so the basics of it is, now that we have one of the parts, we could potentially build that part, I believe. I thought we could. Oh, that does remind me. We did get Morphix at some point to be able to build the Rhino Neuroptex, so we will start the build for that. And hopefully that it will be completed, not next time, but the time after that, in next week's sets. We don't have what we need for the Rhino systems, but we can definitely get that in the near future, I hope. Let's see, is there anything else I need to talk about? No, I don't think so. We will head on to the next part of the Archwing mission. Keep trying to build our Ondata. Or is it Odonata? I have no idea how to pronounce that. I think the Lotus said it at some point, but I just completely glazed over it. There's sometimes when I pay attention, some when I don't.
Proceed to the dig site.
Oh no, I didn't realize this was a excavation. Well, we only have to excavate 100 though, which means that if we just keep one excavator alive, I think we're going to be good. That means this mission will be relatively quick. That's fantastic. Definitely don't need to be sitting in missions forever. I did not expect that to drop right there.
Protect the unit while it extracts the artifact.
But that works. We can definitely protect it right here. As long as we're not gonna let it die to just some random corpus. Boy, a lot of power carriers right off the bat too. I really want you to get this first one. Pretty much assuring it with all these power carriers. Where did... oh, there it went. That power cell eluded me there. Completely off my radar. So, if you're watching this video, TennoCon did just happen. And I could definitely talk about some of the things that were announced. But I feel that a lot of people have probably already talked about that, and if you're watching this to see some of the very beginning parts of the game, you're probably not at the point when the TennoCon stuff would really mean a whole lot to you yet. Focus more on, you know, the current stuff you're doing, getting through the star map, completing all the quests. That way you can kind of progress when the new stuff comes out along with everybody else. It's all about keeping focused. But I do have to admit, it was kind of funny seeing all the people who are switched over from other games to Warframe.
That's it. You found an Archwing part blueprint. Head to extraction when you are ready.
And I do have to congratulate Warframe for apparently being like one of the best free-to-play games out there.
Ready to go. Keep it powered and protected from enemy fire.
I think that's one of the things they were voted. I don't know. I just saw an article somewhere, and pretty sure that was a thing that everybody's been talking about, how Warframe is just so great.
The excavator has lost power. Find another cell.
Because all the, a lot of other games, such as like AAA games and games that are produced by much larger companies, cannot produce the same sort of results that Warframe can. So I found that kind of interesting. The stuff that was released in TennoCon definitely looks very interesting, so if you're a veteran player and you're, you know, just looking for new content and the stuff that's relevant at the current time, make sure to take a look at all the stuff from TennoCon. Have to
Oh
admit that
my.
song is...
The operator has returned with an Archwing part blueprint. You must forge it immediately. It won't be long now until you are flying through the skies like a winged death machine.
The song that they played at TennoCon, the We All Live Together, was really cool. Listened to that quite a lot. Okay, so we can make the Ondata wings. It'll take 30 minutes to get that done. I don't even think we'll be able to finish that in this part, so we'll probably won't be able to finish the Ondata in this part, or maybe even the next. Probably take us a couple parts. But we did get through pretty much everything we needed to do, at least for the moment, because we've run out of time. We will finish the Archwing quest in the next part. I would like to quickly talk about some of the things that you can do right now. Currently, you can, if you have an Amazon Prime account, in other words, if you've linked your Prime account or your Twitch Prime account with Warframe and you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you can get a free Lisette skin and a free color palette, which is pretty great. And if you had a chance to watch TennoCon and you had your Twitch Prime account linked to your Warframe account, then you can expect an Ash Prime. So it's definitely worth it to make sure to keep up on the things that are happening in Warframe and around Warframe, because you can get a lot of cool stuff by just keeping up with it. And if you already have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch Prime subscription with that, so don't be afraid to link that to your Warframe account if you already have it, because it's pretty nice to get all that stuff for free, or for mostly free. You're still paying for Amazon Prime, but I don't believe a lot of people pay for Amazon Prime just to get Twitch Prime. Yeah, that pretty much closes out everything I needed to say. We will continue Archwing next time, but until then, goodbye.